Ah, Velma, what do you have in store for me this week?
Wait a second. As a guy, everyone thinks my worst qualities as a girl are awesome. No tap!
We're impressed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let the man-hating begin.
Norval, stop! Going through doors like this isn't physically possible.
Oh God, you're right! My entire perception of reality is crumbling!
Wait, no, it's just a ride.
Oh, gotta man-hate and make fun of classic Scooby-Doo tropes.
Guys, stop fighting. No boys were sloshing your goo over.
More man-hating.
Sir, if we don't pull these kids out right now, they won't live through the night.
That's a risk we'll have to take. Fred Jones, the son of a wealthy white family, has gone missing. All local units are being diverted to the search, effective immediately.
Can't forget to hate white people, too. Howdy all, I'm Adam the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome to my continuing reviews of Velma. This week, episodes 7 and 8. Now, we don't have anything I think as outrageously insulting as the revelation of what Scooby is going to be in this atrocious abomination of a show. But there are still plenty of insults to Scooby-Doo lore in this week. That's part of the theme of today's review. We've got repeated insults to classic Scooby-Doo tropes. We've got terrible writing. We've got a lot of man-hating. We've got a lot of good racism. And we even have degeneracy thrown in. That's the big thing, especially when you get to episode 8. Degeneracy. Couple moments in there and one line in particular that just says, what the hell is wrong with you people making this show? What the hell is wrong with you? I don't want to spoil it. That's why I didn't put the clip in the intro. I want you to see it. I want you to hear it. Because you have to hear and see it to believe it. Because if you're not paying attention, you miss it. Blink and you miss it. Let's get into it. We're going to go through it. Going to chop it all up. Going to show you how bad it is. Episode 7 picks up roughly where episode 6 left off. Everybody's convinced it's a ghost, not a serial killer. Therefore, the curfew is removed and a new rule is put into place that girls cannot be out unless underage girls, they're all underage girls in this, young ladies cannot be out unless they're accompanied by adults or a boyfriend or a date or whatever. To top it all off, there's a big old fog festival going to happen because Crystal Cove is famous for fog. Special fog. Let's make fun of Scooby-Doo some more. Fog that can randomly teleport you places. Fog that can make you swap your clothes with people. Fog that can remove people's belongings and leave them behind or give them to you, put them in your pocket or hand, whatever, top of your head, whatever. Boom, yes, let's make fun of good old-fashioned Scooby-Doo stuff where fog can do crazy things. At the same time, Fred is being put through the ringer by his parents. If he is not Fog King, he's not crowned Fog King to represent the best, he will be cut off from his lavish, wealthy lifestyle. And Norval has relationship stuff to work out with Gigi because she is feeling neglected. Therefore, he's going to take her to Fog Festival where they will be crowned king and queen. But it's really just an excuse for him to work through his own emotionally damaged issues. Yes, isn't that fun? Where we should be focusing at this point where we have major leads and movement on the actual story of the serial killer. No, let's take time to do more stupid side stories about everybody's horrible character behavior. That's not actually developing them, just making them worse. Instead of actually maybe coming together as Mystery Inc. to solve the mystery. No, let's just do more stupid, unfunny shenanigans for 24 minutes. Yeah. Well, Daphne's angry at Velma. She doesn't want to go to Fog Festival with her. Velma's about to ask her, but then Fred comes in, asks Daphne to do it because he needs to be the best. Norval's going with Gigi, so Velma doesn't have her backup, so she's stuck at home, but she doesn't care. She's looking for her mom. Meanwhile, she is obsessed with the Jinkies piece of paper. The piece of paper, Jinkies from last episode. She goes through all her mom's old crap manuscripts until finally reading the last one, which she was using to kill spiders with, which is a good thing. And she reads a really stupid line. I mean, again, bad storytelling. And then Velma read the manuscript, which told her exactly what she needed to know to move the plot forward. That if you hold the piece of paper up to a light, it will reveal a hidden message. So that's what Velma does. Velma reads a phone number. She calls the phone number. Oh, heavy breathing. It's the serial killer who she threatens over the phone. What did you do to my mom? What are you doing to me? And the serial killer hangs up, but Velma deduces that the serial killer is at the Fog Festival. So now Velma needs to get to the festival, but she can't because girls can't go out by themselves because we live in a patriarchal society where women are oppressed by men and women need men to protect them. So Velma decides to dress up as a man. It's a man, baby. Yeah. Velma goes to the Fog Festival as a man, infiltrates, and while the process of being there, basically gets hit on by all the girls. Look at this hot older guy who does whatever he wants. She's so happy she can go to the bathroom without washing her hands. Newsflash, we wash our hands, you freaking pig of a woman, Mindy Kaling. Cleanest hands on the Eastern Seaboard, I guarantee you, because I prepare food. Pig of a woman. Basically, you get this whole thing where you have drunk Daphne. Daphne's a drunk at this. She's been drinking, hits on Velma. Everybody's cheering her on as Manny. And Velma comes to realization, as I showed you in the opening clips, wow, everything that I do as a man, which is considered disgusting as a woman, is cheered upon by people, which means everybody will pay attention to me now because I'm a man. She tries to convince everybody that it's not a ghost, not a serial killer, but a ghost, and everybody's listening to her for the moment until Fred spoils the party, because at one point she slaps him on the face, and he's like, oh, I can tell that fat-fingered callous hand, because I dream about it all over my face.
Yes. I've dreamt of those calloused longshoremen's hands touching my face for weeks, so as soon as she slapped me, I knew.
I'm so sorry, Daphne.
Ugh, I'd punch you if men didn't sexualize women fighting.
So after scissor blocking Velma and Daphne, Fred tries to claim victory and become Fog King by saying Velma was fooling everybody, but no, Norval is crowned Fog King, but Fred can't handle that, so Fred steals the crown and Norval chases Fred, while Daphne and Velma go underneath the boardwalk to, try and be gay together or work it out. Doesn't really matter because they are quickly going to be assaulted by the serial killer. And now, well, we have a chance for Daphne to show how strong and powerful she is as a whammons. And we get two major insults to Scooby-Doo lore. First, Norval's chasing Fred through multiple doors. I showed it to you. The old Scooby-Doo gag. Yeah, let's make fun of it. Let's insult Scooby-Doo some more. Yeah. And let's make the men look like Nancy boys at the same time. Let's make them look pathetic and lame. Let's make them useless. The girls are being chased by the serial killer, and the men are effing off. Not there to help. The men are worthless. The men are useless. The girls are getting chased, and while they're being chased...
We can disguise ourselves!
Daphne, that's stupid. It will take at least 5 minutes to change. Who would ever stop to put on a costume in the middle of a chase?
That's right. Let's take another moment to basically dump on the classic chase gag that Shaggy and Scooby did in the heyday of Scooby-Doo when they're being chased by the antagonist of the week. They'll stop. They'll quickly change clothes to confuse the monster, the ghost, or whatever, and then they stun him and run away. It was a gag. It was great. It was something, but no, we're Mindy Kaling. We're Mindy Kaling and a stable of artards. We're gonna take a dump on this stuff. We're gonna make fun of it because we hate it. And we hate you who love it. And did you notice? They had the nerve, the gall, to play the classic Scooby-Doo chase music. They had the nerve, the unmitigated nerve, because they think they're clever. They think this is homage. No, this is you pissing all over it. And clearly, as we saw, Mindy Kaling knows how to pee standing up. Eventually, the serial killer catches up to the girls because they crash into the boys, And for a second, you think Mr. Ink might do something, but no, the fog teleports the serial killer away, leaving behind his phone, which now they have as a clue, Jinky. And instead of having the group come together, no, they break apart and go their separate ways. Fred fishes a crown out of a garbage and gets kidnapped off camera. Norville apologizes to Gigi. And then Velma and Daphne, well, this.
Now that you have the serial killer's cell phone, I know you're gonna catch him and find your mom.
And after that, I will focus on only things that you want to do, like complaining about girls I thought you were friends with.
I'd like that. Thanks.
And now we move on to episode 8. Yes, wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun? No, it wasn't. So let's review what happened in 7. We had man-hating. Men are horrible, patriarchy bad. Men can do whatever they want. Women are oppressed because women have to appeal to standards. We can't do this. At the same time, men are weak and useless. What else? Let's make fun of Scooby-Doo some more. Let's make fun of the lore. Let's take a dump on the lore. They hate it. They hate you. They hate me. Episode 8. Episode 8. The horrible stuff, the horrible insults to Scooby-Doo continue. The real one is at the end. The next major insult comes at the end. But before that, we have more everything's wrong in relationshipville. Gigi and Norville are upset. Fred is kidnapped. Nobody knows where he is, but nobody seems to care. And at the same time, Daphne and Velma are friends again, but Daphne is, it turns out in the end, skipping over a whole bunch of stuff, Daphne is manipulating Velma into being an obsessive, crazy person because it turns her on. That's essentially it. Because the episode opens with Daphne, Velma, Norville, and Gigi trapped under a rock, all blaming each other for being trapped under the rock. And we go through a bunch of stupid flashbacks, which they mock for. The show mocks itself for doing flashbacks, and to me, that's mocking Scooby-Doo lore again. When you get the flashbacks of the points of view throughout the mystery, as they've put the pieces together, as Velma in original Scooby-Doo put the pieces together because she's the one that usually solves the mystery. So they're making fun of Scooby-Doo lore again. So we're skipping all over that shit. Bottom line, they all end up in a mountain cabin belonging to Gigi's family. Norville and Gigi are there because Gigi wants Norville to jump her bones. Yes, more underage sexual depravity. At the same time, Daphne and Velma are there because they hacked the phone, or Velma eventually gets Daphne to hack the phone. And they discover a picture of Mount Crystal, a mountain with Billy Crystal's head on top of it. And they go up there, and Norville brought them up there to help out. And Gigi's pissed off because Norville is helping Velma and not paying attention to her, which is actually a very important thing. And Daphne and Velma are pissy at each other because Velma's obsessively jealous, and Daphne is purposefully doing that to her. It's really stupid. Eventually, they all fall down into a ravine because they were looking at a cave. They get trapped. And during this whole point, but before that, I'm sorry, almost missed it. I'm trying to move ahead, but I almost missed it. I mentioned degeneracy. We're going to get to Fred's degeneracy, but there's one moment there where you realize there is something wrong with the people of this show. Check this line out right here.
It's embarrassing, Norval!
How is it embarrassing to be considered the second hottest girl in school? Well, third if you throw in my mom.
What the hell? That is messed up. The fact that they even put that in there. The fact that they even crosses their mind. The fact that they created a character that would actually say those words. There is something wrong with Mindy Kaling and everybody in that writer's room. Everybody. The fact that anybody would put this out. Wow. This is sick and degenerate shit. At the same time, the degeneracy continues when we discover that the cabin is right above the secret lair of the serial killer where Fred has been taken, and he finds the missing brains of the girls who were murdered. The brains are alive, and they're all talking in Futurama-like head jars, with the brains talking to that, and they're all being bitches. But that doesn't stop Fred from having sexual relations with them and hitting on all of them, because thanks to his awakening from Velma, he appreciates brains now over beauty. So Fred does stuff with the brains. In the end, the rest of the gang, after they've fallen in the pit, escape from the rock, Velma is screaming for her mom because she thinks her mom is somewhere down in these caverns they discover, which are linked to the Crystal Caverns all over Crystal Cove. It's how the serial killer wanders around unseen. Gigi and Norval leave because they have to deal with it, because Gigi says, you care more about Velma than me. We need to leave now. And Norval bends the knee to her and leaves. Daphne and Velma have a moment of maybe we should be gay together, but then hear Fred screaming like a little girl. And they run to investigate. They find Fred and the brains. But then Velma stupidly again starts screaming for her mom. Mom, where are you? Because she's convinced, even though we've seen no evidence to tell us her mom is even there, to help her. But so she causes a cave in, and in trying to save the brains, she almost falls into a ravine. But then her mom appears out of nowhere. Literally out of nowhere. All we've seen is the cavern in this room. Nothing else. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Yet her mom appeared out of nowhere and rescues her. And suddenly, we're reunited. And we go through this whole thing of, I'm so glad for here to have you, her mom, to have you back, where now you can shower me with praise because you want to earn my love. And Velma's like, I'm so glad to be here to try and earn your love. When in fact, through previous flashbacks, we saw that her mom hated her family. And she had a wonky eye. Where's the wonky eye? Where's the eye patch? I don't know. We didn't pay attention to our own stupid show lore. Anyway, here's where the final insult to Scooby comes. Scooby-Doo lore, that is. As they're trying to escape, they're not going to make it out, and Velma's mom says, here, we can use this. There's a giant tarp covering something that was suddenly there, and look, it's an unpainted mystery machine. Where she goes, let's hit in this thing, mystery vehicle, and they drive off in a harrowing escape, while Velma and her mom have touching banter, which is meaningless and empty and frankly annoying as hell. And they escape. That's it. That's pretty much it. Ta-da! Episode 8 done. What have we learned? Well, Velma's mom is somehow involved with the serial killer. They may very well still be the serial killer. They've recovered all the brains, who may be dying after being damaged in the escape. And because they can't actually see anything. They can only, how do they even hear? How do they even hear? They have no ears. I don't know. I don't know. It's all so stupid. I mean, if Velma's mom isn't the serial killer, how did she leave the thing on her handwriting with the number there? Where has she been? If she's been held in captive, how did the clue get there? The serial killer left it, but why would the serial killer leave it there so that they could rescue the brains? None of this makes sense, and I'm sure we'll get the big reveal next week. I care about one thing and one thing only at this point. Whose brain is going in the dog? Whose brain is going in the dog? Will it be Velma's mom? Will it be Gigi? It has to be somebody important to Shaggy. Otherwise, Shaggy and Norval. Otherwise, you can't have the Shaggy-Scooby relationship. I'm still putting my money on Gigi. They've moved her to the forefront of being a part of this group. So I'm putting it there. I'm saying it. Look, Gigi's brain's going in that dog. I want it to happen so badly. But what do we get out of all this? We had more insults to Scooby-Doo lore. We had more hating of white people. I showed you the clip in the beginning of the show when the kids are all trapped there, and of course, here comes a rescue thing because Norval had a rescue alert button. They leave them there because they're all not white people and therefore not important because a wealthy white boy is missing. That kind of stuff's peppered throughout it. Hate, this and that. The hate is all there. This show is terrible. It's horrible. It hates you. It hates me. Hates Scooby-Doo. Yet again, proving it hates Scooby-Doo. And of course, it's littered with degeneracy. I showed you this. Showed it to you. Degeneracy. At the same time, none of it makes sense. They had a chance to tell a decent story in there somewhere of them coming together in a serious nature to solve this crime with this serial killer, but no, they keep derailing it with stupid, what they perceive as teen drama. When no, you're just showing degeneracy and horrible people behaving horribly to each other. There's no connection to anybody in this show. We don't enjoy them. We're not rooting for anybody. I'm rooting for the serial killer. Yeah, okay, I'm rooting for somebody. I'm rooting for the serial killer because everybody in Crystal Cove are horrible. I want them to succeed in their deranged plan. This is not fun. It's not a good story. Taking side trips for bad comedy stories instead of focusing on mystery. There should be, we are 2 episodes away from the end. Daphne, Velma, Fred, and Shaggy should be working together. They should have had team building experiences for 4 episodes now, bringing them together as a unit to solve this in maybe comedic fashion if you really wanted it to be an adult comedy. But you haven't done that. You've done nothing but do agenda-driven, unfunny, woke SJW bullshit. That's all you've done. There's been no fun here. There's been no coming together. These characters hate each other to an extent, and they're manipulative of each other. They're crazy. They're degenerate with each other. They do disgusting, horrible things to each other. They're manipulative. The list goes on. This is not a team. This is not a unit. With 2 episodes ago, we've had no team-building experience. And now Velma's mom is back, and out of nowhere, introduced suddenly in the last 3 minutes with all this powerful character, banter, and emotion like she's been there the whole time when she hasn't. There's no connection to her. In fact, we were rooting for the fact that she ditched a horrible daughter and a terrible husband. 2 episodes to go. The finale is next week, and I'm praying. I'm praying to the content gods. Content gods! Please put Gigi's brain in that Great Dane next week. Oh, I'll be back. We'll find out. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like button, subscribe, all that jazz. I'll catch you later. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at therarenerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, @TheRenNerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.